I like that you're a colonizer.
I would never do that.
JD's a colonizer.
Listen, I'm a human being. I'm not in charge of anything. That's my whole thing. I just know what's going to happen. There's no chance we find another planet with people on it that are less technologically advanced and we don't fuck them up. No way. Does anybody think different?
That's probably what would happen.
That's Avatar. That's Avatar.
Well, I mean,
that's Avatar. That's the movie Avatar.
Okay.
Right. It was just these tall blue people that believed in the earth or whatever, and we just fucked them up bad
but
until one traitorous ass white man fell in love with a light-skinned blue, and then he fucked up the whole assault.
They were more advanced.
No, what are you talking about?
Spiritually,
they rode pterodactyls and shit.
They were more advanced.
Wait, if you still ride an animal in a fight, you're not more advanced than us. There's no way. Like that thing has a heartbeat. Shoot that. That's why we stopped using horses. Kill the horse. Like we just fucking. You know how easy it was to just shoot at a dude on a horse. Like you can hit something. We stopped doing that before he reads.
I'd go kill the horse, hoping the horse falls on top of him.
Exactly.
Now you got a broke leg.
2 for 1. One bullet, 2 kills.
Right.
Come on, man.
We're doing better.
I'm doing great. I'm doing fine.
He is doing great, man. He said,
if I don't do comedy again, I'm fine. That's how I know I'm doing great.
What would you do? What do you mean?
I got the properties. I'm good. Like I'm good for the rest of my life.
Wow, you went from
He's a king.
You went from like dead, like broke.
Because I was like rejecting the family business for some reason. I want to be an artist. I want to do comedy. And I just did as much comedy as I could for like 8 years straight.
Oh, so as soon as you let your parents like trump you, give you some money, you were like,
well,
okay,
I mean,
now I'm good.
my grandfather worked hard. It's generational wealth.
Yeah.
See, here's my thing about a comment like that. If I was just some poor, like, oh Lord Jesus, black person, you would be like, you should do something about that.
No,
you and your family should work together and build something together. And we got something, and you're like, oh, so you just taking daddy's money. I'm like, man, we can't win, bro.
Yeah,
but we doing fine.
Well, you've got white privilege.
It's a certain amount of privilege. It's a certain amount of privilege, but I intend to keep it going and not, I could be like a lot of, but the thing is, a lot of families have had assets in their life and they sold it because of like the maintenance or a quick buck or whatever the reason was, bad decisions. And now that asset goes to another family that knows what they're doing. And then, you see what I'm saying? Like people have, at some point in their history, opportunities.
Right.
But like one bad decision can like set your trajectory in a whole different way.
Right. What was the snap out that made you go, what am I thinking?
COVID.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
COVID. Because when I couldn't, well, here's the thing. This is what I remember. I mean, I'm paraphrasing a lot of shit. COVID happened. Before COVID, I'm doing comedy full time. I'm not making a bunch of money. I'm making like probably about $3,000 a month. Right. But it's straight comedy. I'm super proud of myself. You can't tell me, I'm over the moon. I'm just like, I'm doing comedy, I'm working. I love this. COVID happens. And what I remember is a dude going on TV saying, if you love your grandma, don't go outside. Right. That's essentially what I was trying. I was like, oh, so it's like a bad flu, little quarantine. But if you love your family, if you love anybody older than 40, do not go outside. And I'm like, I definitely love people older than 40. A lot of people. I'm not going outside. But then I see Florida doing all the spring break stuff still, like thousands of people outside. Right. And then I'm thinking, okay, that's just Florida. That's Florida stuff. But then I see a bunch of comedians doing packed out shows with people with no mask on, like comedians I've never seen before that are getting stage time because they the ones that would show up.
Right, they're willing to die for their craft.
Yeah, it only killed 1 million people too, so it was worth it, right?
I mean, I personally,
you know how many people didn't care about their grandmas?
Yeah,
there's no way I could stand in front of God and be like, I had a joke that was so good. Somebody had to go, bro. Somebody had. I don't have any material like that. I need everybody here for my material.
Why don't you believe in yourself, JD?
Man, I just believe in humanity and safety. I don't know,
dude. I like that premise of people getting mad at you for being successful.
Yeah, I got a joke.
Who's mad at you?
Okay. People like it's not say like nobody say mad, but it's more like, man, you whatever, like the little comment, you change. Or people, this is one thing, like when it starts slowly. if other black dudes start calling you big bruh or OG, I'm like, here you go. This is the start to some bullshittery.
Okay.
It's like level 1, but then it becomes like, oh, this nigga done changed. I'm like, yeah, I went to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I have insurance now.
Yeah, you talking different. I'm like, bro, my gums were swollen. You know what I'm saying? Like I had issues that I corrected, and now you critiquing me for it. I wasn't healthy. I missed the old JD. I was dying.
Yeah, you missed the guy that was miserable.
Yeah. But
no, you're gonna miss that guy at a point too. That's also gonna come. Now, this is
what do you mean?
Is like just a piece of important advice. First, you'll be chasing it, and you got and then you step away a little bit, and you're like, all right, now I'm gonna have a more well-rounded life. I'm gonna get a little bit more financially stable, all that, and then you're feeling really good about that. Well, next is gonna come. You being like, man, did I sell out? It's gonna happen. I'm telling you.
Well, sell out. Define sell out.
No, the idea of, did I walk away from it? Did I give it up? Am I not? What would it have been? I'm telling you, that's going to come. And
you
when
walk away
happens,
from what? Comedy?
Pursuing full-time just comedy. Because we all go through that stretch where we're so excited that we are able to fully survive and live on nothing but dick jokes. Like, I am literally. Oh, I paid my child support. I paid my rent. I got some blow, all off nothing but comedy money. This is a hell of a week,
right.
And that is a powerful feeling. And then if you get to a point where, there's other stuff going on, you step away a little bit. Like I stopped doing as much. Honestly, COVID, like right now I'm doing this 1 year where I'm just not doing any stand-up at all. Right. I'm just focused.
For the third straight year.
No. I had a solid 6-month stretch where I got back on the road. I was out. I was just
okay.
But it I got to a point where I was like, do I really want for $1,000 to miss, like, my kids at that age? Like my youngest is at that age now where I feel like I fucked up with the older ones. Like there was some shit I should have been around for.
Me too.
That I wasn't there for.
Yeah.
And so for this one, I'm like, I'm gonna get his ass up to like 10 and then fuck him. But like I'm gonna do all you gotta do to like put it, like get the programming in there so he'll grow up to be a decent person, and then I can be like, sorry man, I gotta go tell jokes and sail my boat to Europe and shit. But
there's a comedian, Henry Coleman. He got this joke. It's an amazing joke. It's like he said, I'm at that age where I think I can start having the kids I'm gonna care about. He said the other ones I got, their mama done lied to, they done fucked up. But like I got the ones they really gonna believe in me. You know what I'm saying? Like know me who I am.
The second marriage kids.
Yeah, he's like the second family kids. This shit is so funny.
The ones you had once you kind of grew up, or That's a
I think
funny
it just
premise,
depends
man.
on what your definition. Why'd you start doing stand-up comedy?
Like for me, that was always the goal, right? From the time I was a little kid, like I snuck in and saw Eddie Murphy's Raw in the theater. Yeah. I bought a ticket to see, I don't know, some like some kids movie. And I was supposed to be at the skating rink, but I snuck over, bought a ticket to the G-rated movie, and I'd seen Beverly Hills Cop and all Eddie Murphy's movies. But it was just him. I was like, what is Raw?
Yeah.
And I sat there in the theater, and I'd seen stand-up before, and I liked it, but I'd seen like Bill Cosby and like Bob Newhart and, a lot of the cleaner stuff. And
Bob Newhart's funny, man.
Yeah, no, he's funny as shit. But
Button Down Mine was like he'd been doing comedy like something crazy, like 2
6
years.
weeks. It was short.
That's amazing.
Jeez,
and it's still one of the best comedy albums.
I listen to all that old stuff, man.
You listen to Button Down Mine with the talk?
I listen to that one, but I just go through. I listen to it. I consider it like just a learning experience. So I'm like, what's this about? What's that about? So like, Bob, fucking old Bill Cosby stuff, fucking like I like listening to the audio, like your album. Yeah. I'm like, if you crushing on the album, I can't see you. I'm like, this is good stuff.
Well,
that's where I started. That's where I came. That's where I fell in love with comedy on albums, and you hear that like that tinking of the glass and the thing, and that one lady that's laughing for too long, and you feel that sort of like energy of the room, and it's the individuals in it. Sometimes it's really a cool. I agree. Like listening to old Pryor albums, and
I still have the plan At some point, I'm gonna record an album that I record because I think part of what killed comedy albums is digital audio. Because it doesn't sound. If you go back now, you can listen to old Pryor albums, the Red Fox albums, Newhart. Especially if you listen to them on vinyl, the way that everybody fell in love with comedy albums, Steve Martin stuff, it sounds so full. It sounds live. It sounds like you're there.
Why can't you do
listen
that digitally?
To it? Just the way it goes onto tape and the ambient noise in the room and the way it filters shit out.
Can't you turn the filter on to fake that it's there? Couldn't you just do it?
But again, there's still stuff that doesn't get captured because everything has compression. And compression takes all that
makes
out.
Sense to me, so I'm just like, okay.
And so, but the idea of recording a comedy album straight onto tape, if you listen to even music, if you listen to basically mid 90s is like when they stepped away from recording everything straight to analog and started recording digitally, and you can hear the difference in music. It sounds less warm now. It sounds less.
I wonder what the science is on that, like why that music goes into your brain differently because of how it's recorded.
Because 80% of the sound's gone.
Why can't they
it's
just
like correcting stuff? They have stuff in there. It's like, oh, I'll correct this or what. It's like whenever when I go to my parents' house and they have like their TV on like HD, and like a really good movie looks like a home video.
Yeah.
It's like, that's too clear. Like you like the blurriness, the motion blur and all that stuff. I mean,
I don't know what any of that means, really. Why can't they just have a filter that fakes that adds all that stuff back in then?
But even
that would sound fake too.
Even an album recorded analog, if you listen to a digital version of an old Red Fox album or an old Cosby album or any of those, it still sounds better than albums recorded now. And I want to do that, and I want to you get a digital download. Like here's the vinyl copy, recorded straight to tape, uncut all of it. But also if you want a digital download, so you can have it on your phone.
What about a recording of like when you went from album to cassette, like you recorded it yourself?
Well, cassette's the same thing. It's fine. It's still audio to tape. And it's still not run through all the same compression and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's how I used to listen to Eddie Murphy's first album. His Eddie Murphy.
Before we get lost again, you back to the story? You snuck in.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I snuck in.
I'm trying to keep him on track, bro.
Thank you.
Have we met? No, but I saw Eddie Murphy's Raw, and that was just when I was like, I want to do that, and also, who else does it like that? Yeah. Because again, I liked Cosby. I was a big fan of a lot of the Paula Poundstone, Richard Lewis. Like I really liked those guys but their stuff was because I saw them on the Tonight Show and I really liked it, but I didn't love it. So I immediately went and started watching some of Carlin's stuff. This is all 8, 9 years old. Watched Carlin, watched Pryor. Got like VHS tapes of all those old specials and just sat there watching them. And so it was always, the goal was always to get to stand up. It was, all right, I'm going to do all this theater so I can learn to be on stage better.
Really? You knew that going in? You didn't think like that's not, I wouldn't even, like I don't remember ever watching that stuff and being like, oh, I can do that. I can learn how to do that.
Yeah. I mean, but that was, to me, it felt like the perfect thing for my little narcissistic kid brain of it's just them. And they don't have to have anybody helping them. And which is bullshit. Like, cause you can't make it big in comedy if you don't have a team behind you that's up in your sport and publicists and PR people and all that. And all these people that I loved, Carlin and Pryor and, they all have publicists. They all have agents and managers and people but in my brain it's just you. So nobody else can mess it up, and nobody else gets the credit.
Yeah, that's dope.
But I did theater where I was, but I did like all these plays. I was doing like musicals and just regular plays, doing Shakespeare, doing all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, but I didn't write any of this. So when I got a laugh from doing somebody else's play, it felt cheap.
Yeah. Hack.
Yeah, I mean, but it was like, no, I'm just an actor. It's fine.
Yeah.
And so years of doing that. And then when I was going to move to LA when I was young to start stand up. But it was September 10th, 2001 was when I got in the car to start driving to LA.
What happened the next day?
Yeah, exactly. I woke up the next morning and the fucking towers were falling down. So I was like, well, maybe this is a sign that I shouldn't be going to LA right now because I was just going to go there and start comedy.
Maybe it was the sign. Maybe it was like
Don't go to New York.
yeah, don't go.
But yeah,
right.
Like I wasn't going to New York. I should I probably should have kept going because then I'm sure I would have just knocked up somebody in LA. But
It's weird. I don't know that I like you said something to him about like you'll regret that you didn't. I don't know that you have to be broke and chasing comedy to be good. Like
no, you're right. But
what he's got is an advantage. Like it's like
Tree
what Don
said it best.
It's like
you're never as
like,
funny as you were when you were on the bus.
What's like what?
And it's true.
Well, I don't agree. DC Curry was hilarious, and he, to me, is because he had that safety net. He didn't have to, like you're saying. I got robotic, whatever, about 10 years ago. That's the end of like 10 years of being out there on the road, broke, fucking driving around. Where it's like, what the. This goes nowhere except here.
It was
you know
so
what I mean?
funny.
Like
you used to tell me that. You used to be like, man, because when I was trying to get on the road, you'd be like, the road just gets you more road. That's all the road gets you is more road.
Yeah, but
and you said it like in a almost defeated way.
Sounds like a good country music.
Yeah. But it does. It sounds like the road only
Gets you
gets
more
you.
because
more
I
road.
believed in that. I believed in that sort of like that cliche of you got to be broke and out there chasing it.
Right.
And I'd
Torture
live in a motor. Don't
artists.
move to a major city. Look and drive around being a comedian
Yeah.
and like live like in a motorhome and like be the art. So I think it's better.
It's not
I'm
probably-
way
but
happier now having a house and
Of
money in
course.
the bank and
Of
being able
course,
to
but
be a
it's
comedian.
Stages. It's stages. You go through and then there's going to be the stretch where you regret it. Then there's going to be a stretch where you don't. And it's all phases. It's not like anything's a permanent. There's no such thing as permanence, like in terms of your.
Can you
mental-
imagine regretting it? Like I think it's opened you up as a comedian. It's given you
regret what specifically?
not being out on the road grinding
I
day
did not
in day?
regret that. I never want to do. My thing is, all the stuff that people start talking about in comedy, that was put in my brain after I started. I just wanted to do it and have fun. Like I was just, I'm good at it. I'm decent at it at first. I'm decent.
Well, yeah, you hung out
I
with a
like
bunch of
it.
damn white hipster kids. We were all. I
was
include
just-
myself in that list, but
I was just out here.
it's
like,
only real if you're grinding.
I was surprised that I was even in front of people with a microphone. I was like, this because I'm a super introvert. I'm
Yeah, we were
shy
surprised
until you
too.
get to know me. So I'm like, this is fun, just as it is. And then after that, it was people like, it was all the other stuff. The E-Packet, Manager, Agent, The Road, L.A., New York, Texas. I was like, all right. And then I kind of just, I think I let that jumble me up for a long time as far as my thinking. That's why I went so hard for so long and like just missed out on hella shit. I got a family. My granddad was getting sick. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just stuff that I was like,
Right.
I should have been focused on as opposed to like getting 3 minutes at good nights at midnight or whatever.
Plus, you probably could have got like 7 minutes out of your granddad being sick.
Well, I got some time now.
Okay.
I got like 10.
It's not like
Yeah.
he stopped getting sick.
It's amazing how much better you get at comedy though when you do have a life around you. Like it helps.
You need something,
Like
you need something to reflect. I mean, like, when you're just doing comedy, what are you talking about? You're hanging out with comedians. A lot of y'all broke. A lot of y'all talking about the same stuff. It depends on your circle. Your circle might be toxic.
That's
A
where
bunch of-
airline
a bunch
jokes
of-
come from, man.
A bunch of jealous guys worried about who's getting booked where and who's doing what and who got how many followers. I'm like, bro, that shit. Nobody ever talks about jokes. Like nobody's ever like, hey, let's have a writing session or hey, I got this bit, right? Like it's always
What
something
are you
else.
really?
It's always something else. That's what I hear. I don't
No,
hang out with people.
you got wrapped up in scene drama, which
Never.
yes, you did.
I knew about it. You know what I'm saying? I was
no,
there.
you.
I was wrapped up in.
You were describing just now the things that pulled you away, and part of that was you because when you first started, you were super dirty, like you were like
for like 2 months.
right. And look, it's not a criticism, man. I was trying to be Stanhope for like a year.
First time I saw him, he did this long abortion joke.
yeah, I mean it was fucking
It
gross
was
too.
really graphic.
Oh, so a graphic abortion joke?
Yeah. You want me to tell it to you?
No.
It's a great joke. It's a great joke. but no, but you like in somebody got in your ear and you started trying to be cleaner for a little while and you were like, because it was I don't know who it was. Somebody said something to you because you
Everybody.
but the reality is you were brand new and you were doing well. And clearly there were some dudes that were feeling threatened by that. And so they were getting in your ear and then you cleaned it up and you changed a little bit and you stopped doing as well for a little while, and then you started circling back around. And again, you were very much wrapped up in the community of people in this scene.
Well,
and that's not a bad thing.
Everybody had been doing it longer, so I'm just looking at everybody like I think about things in a very binary way, like levels. So I'm like, okay, I'm a level 0.
Dragon Ball Z.
You know what I'm saying? These guys are all level 3s. They can't tell. I mean, I'm thinking they're not gonna tell me something wrong on purpose. I'm like, what would be the benefit? What would be the benefit of like giving me bad advice? I'm like, what? Like, are you evil? Like, I'm like, I'm not thinking about like.
No, they're just wrong. Like, they're not
people.
evil. They're just wrong, and they don't know any better. It's like literally.
And you don't want to hear that when somebody's telling you the truth. When I was not you, but when I met these guys, like, and they're like, I just want to go work on. Like, no, you don't. You don't want to go learn how to kill in whatever. Fucking John. I don't want to offend any club. You don't want to go learn how to kill in Johnson City. You don't want to learn how to be great at Myrtle Beach. I mean, you do. You want to be great everywhere, but you don't want. And these things that you think you want, you're going to get them, and you're just going to be like, this what?
You want to be good and keep your integrity.
Yeah,
But
you think you've envisioned the stage, but you don't envision all the other shit, the driving to the thing, the blah blah blah, being away from your family, having broken relationship, like you don't envision any of that. You just envision the state, and it's like, this is fucking hard, and your goal is to go make $50 a night driving around to gig, like
it's crazy.
And where if you learn how to kill in that room, you're terrible. Like, what is your goal?
Yeah, that's the truth. You saved. It's true though.
Nobody wants to hear that. They're like, you're just a bitter old comic. No, motherfucker, I'm trying to save you 5 years. Like, do what you're doing. Get great here and find out who you are and find the rooms that embrace you. And sure, you got to go push yourself and go do all the shit. Yeah. But there's an advantage to like having these rooms that know you're funny and you feel funny in, because that's how you open up.
Nobody gets great being Jacksonville funny. Like,
okay, that's fair. But you get like, I guarantee, like, you go to Atlanta and I'm just saying this as an outsider. You go to Atlanta and there's getting ready to be an improv. There's a Helium coming in. There's Laughing Skull. There's Punchline. There's the Atlanta Comedy Theater. There's all rooms around. You can't help but get better being around those people. Like,
absolutely.
And I used to give Jimmy Dore used to give me shit about, you got to get out to L.A. You got to get here. You got to, it's great. It's easy to be the funniest guy in fucking Greensboro, North Carolina. And I'm like, well, maybe not, but it's or on the road somewhere. You come out here, everybody's that level, so you get it raises.
Which isn't true at all.
Raises your game, and I didn't find that when I would go to New York and LA. I would sit in the back and I would watch at the time, and I'd be like, "What the fuck? These are the best comics in the world are here." There's 2 that I just laughed at, and there's 5 of us sitting back here going, "Why can't we get on stage?" We're all funnier right now. That's how I felt at the time.
That's one time. People are always gonna need a place to live. I mean, that's just and they're running out of housing. They've been building housing in Greensboro since I got here.
Right.
Like, just always a new housing development, a new apartment complex, something on the side of the highway. Like,
you don't want to invest in this area?
It's just expensive.
Okay.
It's just expensive.
And they turn to shit really fast, it feels like.
Okay.
If you could get I think prime real estate in Greensboro would be something right by one of the colleges. Like, walking distance, that's good, guaranteed money.
But like, what will happen to the property values around, like, Guilford College is over by where I live, the Quaker College or whatever, and then they've also there's a Jewish temple, and there's a school that used to be a private, like, Jewish boarding school.
Yeah,
that went out of business, and now it's turned into an immigration center, where they're bringing in like kids that were separated from their it's still all fenced in, and they're doing like, will that make the property value around that area any different? Or
I would have no idea. I would hope not.
I
would hope that them trying to help them poor kids wouldn't make your property value go down.
It's weird how, but it's also weird how they bus all the workers in, or they open up the back door at the back thing at 5 in the morning. It's like weirdly like I don't know. It's weird.
I think this podcast might make your property value go down.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah.
If people start noticing that and all just staring outside, like, yo, I don't like that neither.
Yeah.
Like that might do it.
I don't not like it. I'm just curious about why it's so secret. If that kind of thing.
Well, nah, but let's be honest. Like, you don't call something weird if you like it. You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
like it or dislike. I didn't. I was a little nervous.
There was
about
a bunch of Asian people standing outside my house on the street, public property, but just outside my house talking. That was weird, and I didn't like it.
Right.
Why do you hate Asian people?
I don't hate Asian people. I hate people standing out
JD's a
front
racist.
of my house. Also, the other thing is I live in an all-black neighborhood. Where they come from?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this group of Asian people walked to my neighborhood and stood in front of my house. I didn't like it. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird, and I didn't like it.
Did you go talk to him?
No.
The most unsurprising.
Well,
thing
I'm gonna tell you what I did. I did something kind of like I was like, I'm a big black dude. This might work. I took my trash out.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe when they see me come out here and like put my trash, they gonna walk away.
Oh, he's big.
Dude,
Just get out of here.
It was this old Asian guy. It seemed like his daughter and then like her kids. He just waved at me, kept talking in his language, and I just went back inside my house. I got defeated. I lost that one.
Right. Yeah.
I did not win that one.
I mean, but
Maybe you just
Asian
learned
people,
Maybe you just learned they're so comfortable there. They probably live around here.
In front of my house?
Well, they're out walking, dude. They're out
But you
walking.
stop
You're
in front of
friendly.
my house?
Well, that's where their dog had to pee or something.
There was no dog.
Well, that's
it was just a group of 5 Asian people
Oh.
in an all-black neighborhood in front of my house. Find
Now,
something good about it.
Take the
Find
same
something
story.
good about it.
No. Take the same story.
Make
and
it a white neighborhood with black people.
Tom was telling no.
Still weird.
Yeah.
Still weird. Still call the police. Still call them. Still call them. This is
did.
weird. We're being goofy. We're being goofy about it. Still call somebody. This is weird.
Right.
If there was a group of just 5 Russian people in front of your house, call
What
somebody.
are the cops gonna do?
Ask them something like, why are you here?
I'd have the same thing. If a car drives into my
This is
cul-de-sac that I don't
America. You
recognize,
can
I'm
be
like, what
where
are
you
doing?
want to be.
Hey, JD owns property, so he's using his white
Yeah, that's what it is.
now.
JD's now a property owner, so he can go around and he can start judging and
Here's my thing. It's not like they were down the street and I was like, I don't like this. They was in front of my house.
I get it.
Be in front of anybody else's house. You could be. There's an old lady across the street that won't do nothing. Be in front of her house. Don't be in front of mine.
Yeah, I get it now.
I'm all antsy. I'm like, I gotta get ready to do
No,
something.
you did that last night. Eric Brown parked his car in front of your house, and you were like, "Who is that?" And I was
Exactly. I'm
like,
like,
"That's
who the fuck is
Eric.
that?"
You invited him."
But his car looked like my car, so his car looked like my car, and the front door was open. I was like, who the fuck is in? But then I was like, oh, that's E's car. But it's like if somebody's in front of your house, you automatically go up 4 levels. You can't just be chilling like, oh.
I don't know about 4. You think it's 4?
I mean, whatever level you was on.
Yeah, at night
If you
especially.
was on a 0, you on a 4 now. Like, I'm not saying go to 10.
My next door neighbor called the police because we parked our car in front of his house and he wasn't sure if it was our car, and we still talk shit about that dude. we were moving stuff into the driveway, so we had to park on the street. But there was my wife's mom was over, so her car was there, and so I parked. This is back when we still had the van. I parked the van in front of their house. It was parked next door to his house for at that point 3 years, right? this fucking dude called the cops because of the mysterious car in front of his house. And to this, I cannot not make fun of that guy for it.
Car is different. Car, where you gonna put your car? You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to go on the street or a driveway.
Yeah.
If you are a human being just out in the world, not my house.
I'm gonna round up like
Just
5.
not mine.
I'm gonna get a diverse group of people so nobody can put any race on it and just stand them in front of your house
I would call the police
and watch you shit.
I immediately at that point. If they all one race, I'm talking to Sierra. I'm like, man, what should I do? And she's like, calm down. Don't do it. Don't call. I'm about to call them. And she's like, don't do it. I'm like, ooh, boy. I'm just watching them. I'm just watching them. Bro, I'm in my old apartment complex. We watch TV. Somebody let off 3 gunshots. Bah, 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 right in my back, like behind my apartment complex. Like, had to be 8 to 10 feet away. And Sierra looks at me and goes, what should we do? I'm like, call the fucking police. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, why are people asking me these simple ass questions? Call the police. What?
You're the one that
Oh
could be
my
most
God!
affected
We're gonna call a firefighter? Yeah. Call the police. They got guns. At least At least one gun with ammo or 3 guns. That's my math. At least 3 guns or 1 big gun.
Yeah. You are the most racist old white man I've ever met.
It's a gun.
You're the most racist old white man.
What race does a gun have on it?
Have you learned nothing about the last 10 years?
I'm telling a story about chilling with my girl in my apartment. I hear gunshots. You racist.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
What is happening?
You're racist.
For wanting the gunshot.
Why? I have a question. Why are you just sitting there going, call the police? Why don't you call the police?
Not from my phone. I took her phone call.
Because he's afraid of the police. Because he don't want to be in their system.
I don't want him to be like, oh, we found who did it. I don't want to be the first point of contact for the police. I send my girl out there like, talk to these guys.
Right, but you'll let somebody else be the first guy. You'll call the cops on somebody else, but no, you don't want to talk to them.
Every time I heard gunshots in my life, I call the police. I ain't never, and I'm gonna do it every day till I die.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I ain't never gonna stop. I heard gunshots in my old apartment. These niggas shooting. They were shooting in like a random field, like an automatic rifle, like and oh my God, it was Nick Cartwright was at my house, Carl Martindale, and my friend Tony. And this is how I knew people their brains are fucked up. They started shooting. Nick calls his mom.
What's that?
And goes, Mama, they shooting. I might stay at JD Place. First of all, you got her thinking I live in the hood. I live in the country. That's why it's weird. It's just they shooting in an empty field. Carl freezes up. He don't remember this.
That's the exact place they should be shooting.
Yeah, but like
Carl freezes not at like 10 o'clock at night.
I'm with you.
Come on, man.
I'm with you.
I don't live by a gun range.
Right.
I live by the nature. I live by the earth.
Wait,
listen.
what is that? First, you live out in the country.
Freezes up.
You're supposed to be shooting out there.
Not.
Why do you hate the Second Amendment, JD?
And also, when I called the police, she was like, "Oh yeah, you mean the gunshots, right?" People been called.
Right.
I called in like 5 minutes. Like I was like, I don't know. I got hella weed over here. I don't know. I ain't trying to do all that. But I called him. I was like the 100th caller. Like it wasn't nothing crazy.
You win.
What'd you win?
It won't like a pat gun. It was a fucking like a school shooter gun. Like it was one of them big ones. It was like one of them Columbine guns, bro. Yeah. So I called the police, but Carl, he's blacked out. He's in the fetal position. And
what?
He's just shaking back. Like he's just doing like this. And I'm like, man, none of these dudes had the wherewithal to just be like, yeah, we should call the police. I'm the only one that did it.
Right, 5 minutes later.
So after I wrestled with it,
right.
I had drugs on me. It wasn't about nothing else. I had drugs on me.
Right.
And she was like, you want to talk to a cop? I was like, hell no, hung up. And then after that, boom, years later, I went to see her at the apartment. Doot. I don't take any time. Give me your phone. They shooting. What am I going to do? Hope they don't come in my apartment?
Right. I mean, I don't disagree with you.
See, look, here's the thing that kills me.
I don't know what race the gun got.
You were doing some illegal shit, right? You were doing some illegal shit, having drugs on you.
Let's
yeah, you
now.
Called the cops. Let me finish. You called the cops on somebody doing a fucking constitutionally protected right.
Come on now. Him smoking weed is not the same as somebody shooting a gun.
I know shooting a gun's totally fucking legal.
That's a good point. But I don't
There's
like it.
There's no crime.
I'm not going to blow my blunt smoke out. It get in your lungs and you die. Like there's no way. There's no ricochet. There's no nothing. It's just you smell weird for a little bit. I don't know. Listen. I don't know what that person with the gun got on their mind, bro. I don't know. They just
ain't none of your business what they got in their mind unless they come in your house.
Then it's too late. What are you talking about?
It is insane.
He gonna kick my front door and then I'm gonna call him.
Shot a gun.
I'm like, yo, can you please get here before they even think about doing something?
I'm with him. I
ain't calling the police for shit.
Hey, good, because I'm gonna call them enough for both of us. I called the police one time. I'll tell you another time I called the police. I was in my old apartment complex. I'm walking with hella groceries and shit and hella stuff that my grandma got me. You know, it's late at night. These guys are having a party in one of the apartment complexes adjacent to mine. Like I'm walking to the one on the end, and they're up on here having a party. Music's blasting, people outside on the balcony. I'm walking with hella shit, and this one dude says it loud enough for me to hear, "Hey, bro, we should hit a lick tonight." as I'm carrying, you know what that means? Hit a lick?
No.
Yeah.
We should rob some niggas. We should rob people tonight. I'm carrying hella stuff. I'm vulnerable.
Right.
I cannot. Like,
You're what made him
compromised.
think. You're what made him think of it.
I get out the car. He see all this shit. He's like, man, we should hit a lick tonight. And I was like, okay, bet. Walk inside. Yeah, it's a party going on over here. They rambunctious. I think they got some other things going on over there.
That's so fucked up.
I don't give a fuck.
You're a bad person.
Don't talk to me.
You're a bad
If I'm
person.
carrying bags at night, don't talk to me, nigga.
You're a bad person.
You don't want the police to show up, don't talk to me. If you don't want them to show up, do not talk to me. I've been minding my business since 92. I'm always in the right. I will never be in the wrong as long as I'm minding my business. I didn't start shooting. I didn't hit a lick. I didn't talk about hitting the lick. I'm just carrying apple pies and headphones.
That's the most autistic.
Yeah, I'm just like, my grandma, she made the pies and then bought me the headphones. My shit's broke. She bought me some new ones.
So you're not a racist, you're a fascist.
I mean,
What do you mean?
Wait, listen. I am,
He believes
whoa.
the government should be out here controlling everybody's
No,
thought
he's
movement
they're out
so that-
protecting people from people that are
From
getting ready to
what?
grab.
If the police were like, we no longer doing our jobs, defend yourself, I just shot them.
Thought crimes aren't crimes. Speech isn't a crime. Somebody
If a
said
dude- but if a dude-
that guy said that to fuck with you.
What if a dude's
you
like-
know full well that guy said that because he knew you were walking
He
with bags of
shouldn't have
shit
said it.
and he wanted to fuck with you.
Listen, you can't fuck with
And
me
you use
and
the
think nothing
police to
about that.
handle.
I'ma call
You use
somebody.
the police to handle some shit like that.
If the police said,
Put those bags
if the
down
police
and
said-
ask him. Say, well, why
if
don't you
the
try
police,
here?
Hell no. If the police, he was super in shape. If the police, what the fuck, nigga? He fight. That's how he gets stuff. Is he fight for it? I'm not gonna fight a fighter. I'm a thinker. I'm in college. Like, what the hell? I don't even know if he go here. I fight on my battlefield.
I'm a little stuck on the fact that Nick called his mom.
Yeah,
That's- I don't know how
I
you-
get it. I kind of get it because I'm like, you think about the die, I'm like, yo, I love you. I'm sorry about all that fucked up shit. But whatever it is, like, call, make amends if you think they coming. But I'm like, bro, just call the police. Like, just
How does hearing a couple of gunshots make you think you're gonna die?
Because bullets could kill you.
I don't know where to go from here. Like, if we heard gunshots right now, James wouldn't be like, yeah, keep the podcast.
I absolutely would.
I-
That's a different.
Do you own guns?
three?
How many guns you got?
0.
See, that's your problem.
I want a gun, but 3
Let's go get
out
you
of the
one this
4
afternoon.
people in this room would leave. If gunshots started here or here, we'd be like, well, if they started there, we fuck. That's the only exit out of here.
Yeah.
But if they right there, I'm gone.
Well, first I'm gonna be like, is it hunting season? 2,
Who's hunting Greensboro city limits? They hunting you.
If they're
You know,
hunting
they're
near
hunting
here,
people.
probably have bad aim.
I would assume it's somebody that works in this building out shooting in the
Yeah.
parking lot.
I mean, look at
That's
like
what I would think
Reposado.
first.
Like,
And then so I would be like,
I would not be shocked at all if on their lunch break they go outside and
Yeah, but
unload a
bullets
clip
don't go,
into
oh,
a
I'm a
target.
lunch break bullet. I'm going to not go
If
in
you
this
do
guy's
that
head.
though, wouldn't it be common courtesy to be like, hey, y'all about to start shooting?
you'd think it would be.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you that person,
I don't need to tell you I'm
see,
gonna
now,
have
what,
a right.
What is going on?
It's my right.
That's
It's
the
my right.
stupidest
This is
shit.
America.
Okay, and it's my right to call the police.
That's right. That's
At the end of the day, what we gonna do? It's your right to shoot. It's my right to call the police. And they can pull up and be like, "What are you doing? Legally shooting? Carry on." That's it. That's it.
It is
Unless you
your-
start shooting at them.
It is your privilege to be able to call the police. There ain't nothing in the Constitution says we even got to have police. That's
oh
not
my
a right.
God! Fuck
That's a
that
privilege.
Constitution. It's you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just taking the other side
Like,
of the argument.
I'm
I
gonna-
don't even fully disagree with you. I just think it's fun to watch you get this worked up over the idea.
It's good. It's good podcast.
dude. He would
Have
get
you ever unloaded a clip? Have you ever shot a gun?
Hell yeah.
All right.
It's just fun as hell.
he would get worked up if we were talking about glasses.
Do you
that's,
want somebody
that's
to call?
JD.
Like, would you want somebody to call the police on you?
If I was on
your property.
If I was on, but an apartment complex ain't your property. It's not yours.
You have property rights as a leaseholder.
Unless you like just, I guess, start
Cannot
shooting in
fire
your
a gun
bathroom or
within
something.
City limits.
You
Well,
can't?
okay.
All right, boom. And we're done. We're done. But we're done at this point. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't do it. I ain't write that.
That city ordinance maybe is or isn't constitutional. That's a whole different argument.
Hey, the Constitution, that's a whole different.
Whether
I
it's
ain't
constitutional,
on
I
that.
think it's a good idea.
yeah,
But also real shit, fuck that piece of paper. If there was no piece of paper and there was no police, I call somebody. I would call the dude I had with the most guns. I'm like, yo, this shooting my house. How much would it cost for you to come out here and check things out? like a servant. I'm like, bro, like I'll trade you some wheat. I'll trade you some goods to just come by my house and like, yo, you got a gun? Check out the area.
Call the samurai.
Would you?
I need a man to come by and be a man real quick for me.
I don't got a gun. If I had a gun, I would check. If you don't have a gun, what do? You either get a gun or call somebody with a gun.
First off, why don't you have a gun? You live out in the country. I get if you live in town, and like all jokes aside, I get if you live in town and like quick police service, all that kind of stuff, not having a gun. But out where you live, they're black bears and shit.
I do have a gun in the works. I'm just trying to get this discount on it. But I do have a gun on the way.
How much of a discount are you getting?
It's like a 40% discount.
I mean, yeah, but like right now, you can walk into Walmart and for like $120, walk out with a shotgun.
I wasn't trying to get a shotgun.
And then you
can walk.
And then you can walk back in with the shotgun and get all the guns you want.
Yeah.
Yo, edit that.
Edit that.
What do you mean?
That was funny. That was funny though. That was funny. That was funny as shit.
No, but like you don't.
Well, it's a pretty safe neighborhood, but it's just, I mean, I've been meaning.
It ain't about safety,
you know. Well, it's about wanting to shoot a gun.
Well, wanting to shoot a gun, but also, if you live out in the country, you should have at least a shotgun.
Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong.
There's fucking bobcats. There's fucking black bears. There's fucking
wrong.
rutting deer that'll come.
Yeah.
Dude, kids especially if you got like little kids and shit.
Yeah.
There's fucking giant. Well, we're far enough west.
He's right. If you have little kids that are able to crawl and stuff, you should definitely have guns around the house.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That really
you
makes
should have
everybody
them
safer.
secured in a place that they can't use them.
Yeah, because every time you see a bobcat attacking your kid, you got time to run and unfucking safe your gun and get it out.
You run to the fucking
clean it, load it, and then save your kid. Yeah. It'll all work out great. It's not useful if it's not around, and then it's like, and then you don't want it around because it increases your chance of your kid getting killed.
My gun safe opens with my thumbprint. It doesn't take that long to run inside and grab a shotgun.
You know how long it takes me to sever your thumb? Well, to get into your gun
If
safe?
you want to cut my thumb off to steal my guns, Tom, come on.
That is crazy. You got guns, Tom?
No.
Okay. I should get a gun. You right? Like a Tom.
You're a property owner now.
He got
JD.
some crazy. He got some crazy apocalypse ideas. He said he's gonna read a. He said he's gonna get a.
No,
no, James. That's what he said. He said he
say
gonna.
that.
No, yes, you did. He said, man, if the apocalypse happens, I'm gonna get all my books on like peace. And just go outside and tell people to stop fighting.
I did not say that.
I was like, bro, what are you talking about?
I did not say that.
Bro, I was like, you gotta pick a side and you gotta know at the end of the day you're gonna kill people. That's the only way to get through it.
Or you're dead.
That's all
you
right.
pick a side.
I'm dead anyway. Eventually,
But
I'd
see,
rather
that's
die
what I'm
not
talking
killing people.
And that's why I know I need a gun. Cause I don't want to be 50 years old talking about whatever happens. I'm going out blazing.
Right.
I'm going out Ghost Recon, bro. I'm going out full. I'm emptying the clip. I can't just sit around and wait for them to kick my door in and take my food. I can't do it.
Yeah. I haven't ever been confronted. I haven't been confronted with that situation. I imagine
It's
I'd
the
want to
apocalypse,
I know, but believe me, dude. I have a lifetime of dreams of me in those dreams, beating people to death with other people that I'm swinging or breaking off a body part and beating somebody to death with.
When we met, you were about to become a prepper.
Well, that doesn't mean I was going to arm myself. I was going to.
So you're just stuck with we had a joke.
Yes.
I used to do a joke about this.
Yes, you were going to stockpile shit. I was going to stockpile shit, and you were just going to have a gun and come over and take my shit.
Right.
Yeah, you're just a walking loot box.
Yeah.
You're a Fortnite loot box. You're like, yo, just if you go by Tom's place, you can get all this stuff for free.
And you know you ain't got a gun.
You ain't got to fight nobody. Just get it.
Okay. I don't know. I have a sort of ideal in me of like I don't think Martin Luther King would arm himself. I don't think. I think our goal
near the end, he was like kind of flipped.
Yeah.
You don't think Martin Luther King had like security?
Yeah,
Listen.
Well, if I can get security, you know.
If he didn't have a gun, somebody very close to him.
You know those four guys
I'm
that were
telling
always
you.
walking around him?
Yeah.
You don't think they had guns?
Okay. Well, there are people walking around me with guns.
You won't even call
Not-
for a
not
jump.
pointed
You're gonna
at
call
you.
for me to come protect you?
That's true. That's a good
This
point.
dude, he had a dead battery and he sat in a parking lot for hours
You know, they never
instead
came.
of just call and in a parking lot. So people were getting in cars and driving. He didn't walk over to another car and go, "Hey, can I get a quick?"
I was
jump?
listening to a game. I called AAA. I paid.
Well,
for
and
them,
you were locked out of your house.
and I was locked out of my house.
So
I
you didn't
couldn't-
really have anywhere to be.
Yes. So I just drank coffee outside of Starbucks, did some work, and then listened to my son's game on the radio, and then
You listen
Called
to a
AAA.
game on the radio?
Like on my phone, actually.
Oh, okay. So you was watching. You were watching.
No, I
it.
was listening to the radio broadcast, like
okay.
from the live stream or whatever it was. I don't know. I went to SouthCarolinaGamecocks.com and hit their little listen now.
Sponsored by Duralast Batteries.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I sat in this parking lot and he came and helped me. By the way, AAA never came. Nobody ever came to jump. I never got a call.
They never called you and told you.
At 8 in the morning, I got another call from AAA. They're like, we just wanted to see if everything worked out. Motherfucker, what?
Hey, did somebody come?
Did you handle that?
Well, the first thing they ask you when you call AAA is, are you in a safe place? So maybe once you say that, that releases them of any liability in those situations.
It's just like, fuck AAA. I've been like since '96. It says on my card I've been paying. Like, they really helped me out on the road when I was a kid, when I was younger doing comedy. You know,
Locking your keys in your car and all that.
or no, that kind of stuff. But even breaking down or that towing 100 miles for free thing. That's like that's life-changing money at that time driving around like that. I would have to pay that. So but then now that like I don't know how you let somebody sit in a park and then you call them back 13 hours later and like, hey, how'd it work out?
I mean, well,
you know how it worked out. Nobody ever came.
I mean, if they couldn't find anybody, if they couldn't find a truck to dispatch, I mean.
And I guess they on their end, it could be like if you really needed help, he would call back and be like, nobody's showing up.
I did call back.
Oh, nobody answered?
I got sick of calling back.
Oh, okay.
And then I talked to James, and he was like, I can jump you. You got jumper cables, too?
Yeah.
And by that time, it was so late that Starbucks was closed. and there was no cars in the parking lot.
I mean, that's not the worst stories. You seem kind of zen. You're like, oh, something bad happened. I'll wait. And then when that didn't work out, I'll call my friend.
No, but I was like, do you not have
that's-
friends? Like, why can't you call somebody to come get?
Yeah.
You said, well, I'm just waiting on AAA. I don't know.
It is. I couldn't get into my house. I was locked out of my house. I had a string of like weird
Didn't
shit
call a
happen.
locksmith. Paid for a
I
hotel.
didn't think about the locksmith. I didn't even
That's
think
the
about
point I'm
Nobody
making.
thinks the
Is
locksmith.
Yeah, I just was like, oh, I'm locked out. All right, I guess I'll get a hotel.
If you'd had a gun, you could have shot the lock.
I did
off
consider
and got
breaking a
in.
window, but then I thought that'll be more expensive than a hotel. Then it'll be a pain in the ass. Blah, blah, blah. I'll step on some glass, whatever,
Yeah.
So yeah, my neighbor may call the police on me because they hear glass breaking.
Yeah.
James
JD
down the
lives
street.
next door.
He may
You're
shoot
gonna have
me.
6 SWAT units rolling in because of JD's ass. I heard breaking glass outside. I need the police.
Bro, I'm saying right now, I heard
I was
something
better than
shot
you.
me.
I heard breaking glass. I need to go out there with my shotgun.
I heard-
Make sure
I
there's
heard
not a
like some
bobcat.
Yeah, I'd have let one off in the air.
I heard like a rabbit or a cat getting killed by something at night, like an owl or something. I heard that. I went outside and checked it out. I'll check out anything happen around my house. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I'd appreciate
Yeah, but
that
it would
if I
be
was your
better
neighbor.
to do that with a shotgun in your hand.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I didn't go. Listen, I ain't go far. I always keep listening. I'm not nimble. I'm just more nimble than you think. That makes sense. Like,
No,
it's
I
like,
believe you.
whatever you think I
Nimble.
can do a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was outside, just kind of high stepping, like, what's going on? But then once I realized it was like an owl, like carrying something off, I was like, oh. But
You don't need a gun. Like I just go outside with my throwing
that
stars.
just made me sad.
No, I can kill a bobcat with a throwing star. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Never
need a
in
gun.
your life.
No.
Huh?
Never in your
Because it's
life,
funny,
dude.
'cause I'm like, we don't need
No.
AR-15s. Like, and all that kind of
No,
stuff. I understand like gun control, like background
Right
checks,
between the
all that kind of
eyes?
things. But I still
thing's
like.
going
I'm a
down,
big
man.
fan
Get
of
enough
people
force.
being able to own firearms. I
Yeah.
don't want to go full on. Nobody can have a gun.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think anybody needs a fucking machine gun.
Yeah, you don't need like an LMG. Like, for
Yeah.
what's about to happen?
Only in America will you have like America's like you go like a gun and a machine. Let's put those together, right? I need
I need to be able to
That's
do
inside
this
some Americans.
to kill more people.
No, we-
I need to
we-
be able to kill more people like this.
Yes.
I think we're so good at like making weapons better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I always think about didn't work, but it's like, the serrated edge on a knife.
Yeah.
It's like who came up with that? Like, who looked at a knife and was like, this bitch need teeth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we always adding.
Anybody cutting like even cutting meat, you need a little.
But it's like you
serration.
had like a hunting
I
rifle.
needed to be able to saw too.
You had a hunting rifle, and then somebody was like, bro, I want to kill that dude over there. And then like that's a sniper rifle now. Like we just keep making weapons better or more dangerous or hurt more.
It's
Like,
easier to kill someone the further away from them you are.
Well,
then somebody's like, this gun holds
Like
20. They're like,
mentally.
but what if it can hold 80?
Yeah.
we live in such a soft.
We have
world
no
now.
limits.
Like in America right now, we live in such a soft, safe. It seems crazy, but as violent as the world was, as much war has happened, like the idea of better weaponry
Yeah.
seems like the most basic thing people would be wanting to think of.
Yeah.
Only because, I mean, you got like for hundreds of thousands of years of human history, it was village raids village, kill all the dudes, round up the pretty girls, expand your village. That was all of human history.
Yeah, that was most of
until
it.
very recently. That's why you can't trust women.
Until the AR-15.
Wait, what?
Because they had to evolve to be absorbed into these new communities and forget their old lives. That's why they're not loyal. That's not actually true. I'm kidding. But I'm joking.
Hey, I can tell you right now, as a clip, him saying that and me going like this.
Wait,
what? Yeah, like, just cut it there. Do like a visual of JD looking at the camera like what, and me being like, what? Are you fucking crazy?
You never thought about that idea?
I feel like that. I feel like that
really
at
funny.
Whatever fucking background should be on me while you're talking, like, and it's you just saying that's why you can't trust women.
You're like,
right?
what?
It's bred into them by rape and fucking pillaging.
Nobody said that word.
That's he avoided saying that word.
I'm just saying.
That's
if
what
you
they
need to
did when they go
understand-
into villages. I mean, that was like the second thing.
That's why you can't trust women, because they were vulnerable to being dragged from a village. And that's what
Exactly.
made them untrustworthy. What?
I wonder when they stopped saying that, because like they used to always be like, we're going to pillage and rape. I'm like, what? I remember like what day where they're like, we're going to pillage and rape, and they're like, oh, hold on now.
Who's got that? Somebody's got a bit.
We're
of
not
that.
monsters. Come on, man.
I'm just hungry.
I'm just
I don't
gonna
wanna do
pillage.
that.
I'm a pillager.
I'll be over here pillaging.
I just pillage.
They
I
did
just
that-
pillage. I don't do nothing else.
They just added in the pillage part for their wives. Like it's like, yeah, we're going to pillage and
I love that. I'm a pillager. I just pillage.
Oh god, that's funny. That ain't funny, but it's funny. The subject matter is crazy.
those kind of jokes are never funny though.
Oh man. Oh, ain't it? Like in every strategy game I played, like once you consolidate your area, you move to another one. We just populating this one heavy. If we can find some other place to go, that'll be the next step, in my opinion. We gotta get off of Earth. We got not say get off of Earth. We gotta expand.
Pillaging is in our blood, is what you're saying.
And if somebody else is there and they just listen, God bless them if they don't have technology like us yet, because we about to fuck them up bad, bruh. If they got like grass armor, you know what I'm saying? They still fighting with like swords or whatever. I'm like, yo, it's a wrap. This a wrap.
I love that you believe
There's not a
everything the
chance.
founding fathers believed in.
But I'm
JD
saying,
believes manifest
I wouldn't do it. That's what's going to happen. I would never do that. I would try to make peace with them, learn a little goofy ass language,
Eat bop, bloop, blop.
teach them about
Then your
whatever,
friends
you
come
know
in.
what I'm saying? Teach them about money or something. But like,
passive
I would
income.
never kill all of them.
I like that you're a colonizer.
I would
is all
never
I'm
do
saying.
that.
JD's a
I'm
colonizer.
I'm a human being. I'm not in charge of anything. That's my whole thing. I just know what's going to happen. There's no chance we find another planet with people on it that are less technologically advanced and we don't fuck them up. No way. Does anybody think different?
That's probably what would happen.
That's Avatar. That's
I don't know.
Avatar.
Well, I
that's
mean-
Avatar. That's the movie Avatar.
Okay.
Right.
It was just these tall blue people that believed in the earth or whatever, and we just fucked them up bad
But we
until
have-
one
we have-
traitorous
that's
ass
a
white
metaphor.
man fell in love with a
PR
light skinned blue, and then he fucked up the whole assault.
They were more advanced.
No, what are you talking about?
Spiritually,
They rode
yeah.
pterodactyls and shit.
They were more advanced.
Wait, if you still ride an animal in a fight, you're not more advanced than us. There's no way. Like that thing has a heartbeat. Shoot that. That's why we stopped using horses. Kill the horse. Like we just fucking shoot. You know how easy
where
it
we
was
differ.
to just shoot at a dude on a horse. Like you could hit something. We stopped doing that for a reason.
I'd go kill the horse, hoping the horse falls on top of him.
Exactly.
When they go down, now
That's a
you
two
got a
for-
broke leg.
2 for 1.
You're out of the
One
fight.
bullet, 2 kills.
Right.
Come on, man.
But I still think they were the more advanced.
Use
they were the more evolved.
Use any
But
example
that's why
from the movie.
you never win in a fight against like society is because you're like, no, because they believed that's better. They're more.
They had a nicer way of life. I'm not arguing that, but they were not more advanced.
Because you consider advanced being the more weapons you have.
More capable, and that's why we always expand our weapons. Is because somebody else is gonna.
If I'm pulling the trigger and sending something like, I don't know, 500 meters a second, and you gotta do this shit, like you gotta fucking and like I'm killing 8 of y'all at a time. You like like bro, like and you gotta hit me too.
Yeah.
And your arm will get tired. Like, bro, there's a lot of shit. Like, I could do this all day. I could do this.
Dropping.
I could do this for 14 hours, bro, and not breathe hard at all.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, but you ain't even got to do that
You
no more,
do this
JD.
shit for 30 seconds,
You just do it
done.
once. You just hold it. That's the beauty. You just hold it.
And that's how we made it better, Tom. At first,
And then
we went from the musket shit to one every like 30 seconds to this, and then Hodge brought up, I can just hold this down and empty the clip. 800 rounds in a minute. Zzz, just fucking drop the box, put another one on.
Killed you and every tree around you.
I killed everything. I killed your whole village.
Yeah, I
And
just
that
don't.
makes
I don't
us
see
more
that as.
advanced.
I see that as less evolved and not more evolved.
Evolved and advanced are not the same thing.
You're thinking about morals. You're not thinking about like you're not thinking about the tangible, like the facts, bro. If all these people believe in like loving everybody and everybody should be good,
But
and
they
save
weren't.
the
They
earth,
weren't. They had weapons. They just had shittier weapons. So they were still about killing people. They just had less weapons. So in theory, like it's not like they were all just super peaceful. They also were good at killing people.
But do you know what? Throughout history, you've never heard of a culture that truly thrived under the idea of peace and harmony. Because as soon as they tried to do that, somebody with like knives and guns or arrows came in and murdered all of them and took their weapons.
It's just, bro. And I get what you're saying, but it's just like it's just mathematics. If we got a peaceful village with like, let's say 3 villages work together and we just love each other and it's all harmony. There's a dude out there that's big as fuck, strong as fuck, evil as fuck. That's just sucking up villages all over the mountains. You don't know nothing about him until one day you hear a horn and then it's it's over, nigga. It's over. Nobody cares what goofy ass God you believed in. Nobody cares how much wheat you harvested. It's over. You gone. Your daughter's gone. Like those villages have weapons for hunting and defense. Defensive weapons ain't the move. We learned that a long time ago. You need weapons to kill people. You need weapons to kill a lot of people at one time. That's what you need if you want to survive.
Because somebody's gonna.
Somebody's gonna do it.
Yeah, that's a huge flaw in my plan.
Yeah.
A flaw in what?
In his entire life ethos.
But it only was
my entire ideal
He's
and
built
core.
his entire idea of humanity around Gandhi, and it's beautiful.
But it's like
around Gandhi and nonviolence, and that's all cool.
That's
but
great
you
for-
can't be nonviolent when they're coming in your door,
Exactly.
and they're trying to take your daughter and make her into their new wife.
That goes back to my point when niggas shooting outside my apartment.
That's right.
I can't wait till I think they not gonna fuck with me. I'm like, yo, they doing something right now. I have no defenses.
That's why you got to have your own.
And that's when I first. I was still kind of sad at that point in time, but that's when I first was like, I should get a gun.
I can't have a gun.
I was like,
Look, I've had the thought.
right now, it's like right now, I'm doing better than I ever done before, and it's more so about protecting what I got and protecting my friends and family. Like for real, like when we get some crazy manic dude talking about, I'm gonna go to the idiot box and do something crazy. I'm like, I wish you would.
Yeah.
I really wish you. I mean, like not on my watch. Whatever. I mean, it's just I just can't sit around and like just know that people I care about could possibly get hurt and not sit around and do nothing. I just couldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't think I could either.
You just were talking about not participating in the apocalypse.
I don't have to. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see when it happens. I don't know.
Tom, I'll tell you right now, if you're not on our side,
I'm not gonna.
If not, I won't do nothing to you. But if you're not on our side,
I don't know what our side is. Of course, I'm going to be on
whatever side we create. You have the Greensboro still?
Yeah.
We got the Greensboro side. That's what.
Well, here's the thing.
The Greensboro side.
No.
Fuck everybody else right now for the moment.
No, there's gonna be basically 3 sides. There's gonna be the we're still going to work together despite our racial differences side. There's going to be the of each group, we're not going to work together. We're only going to round up with our own groups. So there's going to be each group, and then there's going to be groups that are like, no, dude, like JD, me and you are getting together, and we're going to take care of this.
I like that last group, the multiracial mob on them group.
Yeah.
That's unity, and also it's an aggressive solution. I can't sit around and just plant stuff all day. Like we got to get resources. We got to take over factories. We got to establish something quick.
Right. You
That's
get
the problem
farms.
is we don't have enough friends that know how to manufacture. We got some funny friends. It'd be the funniest ass mob, but we probably lose.
But if I just feel like if you got a gun, you can find the answer. Like, yo, anybody manufacture? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just does anybody? If you don't want to die, do you manufacture?
Tom, I need you to put as much work into planting these crops as you've been putting into writing them jokes.
Okay.
So that we can keep surviving.
What job would I give Tom in the apocalypse, bro? You'd be a good scout. You'd be a really good scout.
Because fuck him if we don't come back.
Scout. No, I'm just like.
That means he doesn't value your friendship. He doesn't value you, Tom.
As far as giving a detailed report on what he's seen, and also make him a scout because I don't want whatever happens out there. I want Tom to know that was on him. If he gets back safely, he did a good job. If something went wrong, my team like, nah, you was out there. It was you, your horse.
Now you got me on a horse. Those things are
You
useless.
chose to not take a gun, Tom.
It's the apocalypse.
You chose to scout without a gun.
A little bit. Gasoline ain't prevalent like that.
I didn't say. I wouldn't be well trained. I wouldn't be. I don't know what good I'll be at this point. I don't know what good I am now. I'm just a joke teller. So I mean, So I already.
It's a very luxury profession.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get the
Some
fighting
countries
to
still ain't got
settle down.
stand up. They just don't have it.
I'm counting on the
Most countries.
You know,
Have you ever seen somebody trying to do stand up in German?
that stand up across the world thing was probably the best and worst thing I ever seen.
I don't even know what that is.
It's each season is like 3 comedians from a different country, but like I swear, I think they plan it like this. Every country gets farther and farther away from stand up. Like it's like once you get to like I don't know Polynesia, I'm like I don't know what they talk about. It's just like they see stand up and they're like, well, I'm gonna give it my shot. Like I'm trying to think. This one dude, he was like the best dude in his country. The country was small, and I watched his stuff and I was like, they just got it. They just got stand up.
Right.
And he's like the most popular dude at the time, but they just got the genre like last year. They don't know what to do with it yet.
I don't. And they. This is a show.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
And then are they all speaking English or are they?
Some like UK, Canada, America, but like once it gets to like the other countries,
Then you're reading.
Yeah.
You're reading a translation of jokes about a subject.
Subtitle stand up does not.
It does not work well.
That's nobody's fault. That's nobody's
If they're
fault.
a good enough joke writer.
I can tell. Like you ever watch like the?
Yeah, I guess. But it's like I don't know. It's like trying to hear. It's like try to enjoy what they're doing, hear their voice, hear the inflections, and read at the same time. It's like there's something a little disconnecting about it.
But you also need to make sure that the translation is placing the verbs and the nouns in the right order, so the punchlines work.
They have to.
So that's the other.
They have to do the captions right. They have to.
You have to. Yeah.
They have to. That's not on them. But I know this person's funny. I know they're a big deal. I just not speaking
That doesn't
English.
mean he's fun. Yeah. Like you watch. Like if you ever watch like what's the Telemundo or whatever, and they have the guy doing Spanish and doing stand up, and you're just like, oh, I know this act. I don't know a single word, but I'm like, that is terrible. Like,
I can tell he's a hack in a different language.
Yeah, that's funny.
you know what I mean? You can just tell by the way he's like, that's the worst. You know what I mean? I don't know what.
Why does he got the Bob Hope mic?
Yeah, like, why is he so like cheesy and hacky and like? You
But
just know
isn't
it.
it just different styles though? Like we talked about earlier, like New York got different a 2-minute style, like a crisp, like heavy hitting short style. LA got different style. I think the South got a different style. We get more time. We get more time on stage. We can draw out our thoughts more and have longer, have pauses and shit like that. They would never tell you that in New York. That put pauses in your set. But I got that advice all the time down here. Like build tension. You know what I'm saying? Like you in control. Like you can do whatever you want.
I remember Keith Alberstadt telling me about because he was a road guy and then he was a New York guy for a long time.
Yeah.
And he's like, I would write jokes while I would be out working the road and be like, I got new jokes, and he'd go in New York and start telling them. And they wouldn't work. And then the same thing would happen. He'd be in New York for a couple months, write a bunch of new stuff that was working really well, and then go out on the road and it wouldn't work on the road. It was like he was like, there's a weird line of like what works where.
But I don't
Yeah,
want.
but there are comics. There are comics that transcend that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I
and
think
those are the ones that are like end up. Everybody deals with that, but then there's. I mean, you look at the greats. I don't care where you're at. If you like stand up, you can't watch Cat Williams and not be like, that's pretty fucking.
That's
funny.
good.
Even if you're like, those aren't well written jokes. You can break down his stuff and find ways to criticize it, but you can't pretend like wherever you are that Cat Williams isn't funny.
Bro,
Yeah, I
a
agree.
really good example, I think might be a little bit better than that. I think Cat was phenomenal, but Mike Epps, he's not. He's
Oh,
not
you told me about that.
He's
one.
not the best joke writer. I think everybody knows that in stand-up. Like, he's not the best joke writer in the world, but he's hilarious, man. His physical IQ is through the roof. Like Dusty said, the callback IQ, he could just do an act out and pull you into the joke. The act out was the premise.
Right.
So now it's just punches. So like that's why he's able to do such rapid comedy like that, because he doesn't need to set up some long thing. He's just good with his body.
Is that kind of stuff written? Like, and then
I think he just feels it,
you
man.
just start
but
talking,
we
and
know guys like
that's
that.
how
Chris,
expressive
Chris
he is.
Wiles is a gifted physical comedian, and he translates that into stand-up. I mean, a lot of the comedians that, I'm not talking about like super hacky guys. I'm talking about like the bigger performance-based guys.
Sebastian.
I mean, Sebastian. I mean, for that matter, one of the best like physical timing, structure-wise comedians I've ever seen is Chico Bean. And like even before he knew how to write a joke, he's actually become a pretty good joke writer now.
Yeah.
But like
I was
back
just
when
hearing good things about him, about the way he helps people around him, like in that.
He's a cool. He followed me
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Off that joke. He's a nice guy.
Well, like
Real
He
nice
is.
guy.
He is a
like,
nice guy.
Bean and I started together, and like Tom was the older guy in the room, like when we first. And but like even before he really got the writing side of it down, he was crushing, just because his ability to exist, his timing, like all of those things.
Yeah, he
were
did that
so
thing where he would kill with no jokes.
on
like
point.
what it seemed like.
and
no
then
jokes.
but then as years have gone by, he's evolved into
Yeah.
somebody that has both, which is why he's one of the comics now that I really, really like to watch.
Yeah.
Just because I've seen the same thing with you, man. Seeing the evolution of you. I mean, it was different things that you were strong at early on versus where Bean was at, but like you had like this certain amount of strength that you just came into the game with. And then you added in and augmented and built it around. And that's why I love watching you, Trundy, Bean, Jordan Fisher.
He's got
watching. I mean, it is so much fun now to watch a clip of Jordan as the comedian he is today.
Yeah.
When I saw that kid, he was a year in, still on stage wearing a Nike swoop hat because doing his "I look like Tiger Woods" jokes. To see him go from, and he was funny then. He was always funny, but to see him go from there to where he is now is fucking beautiful.
Crazy. 2 fouling spots. That's fire, man.
I mean, years ago, this is back. Jordan hadn't even lost his virginity yet. Trundy and I were at NYP with him one night, and I was trying to talk him into sleeping with this old haggard woman that had been at the show.
Haggard.
She was haggard. Right. You know what I'm talking about. You know the wine drunk white ladies.
Yeah.
Like they're like
What are you talking about?
going through their first divorce. End of the day, their foundation's dried out, so it looks like they're bearded because like the peach fuzz gets so thick. You know, they're sipping on their wine, leaving it staying on the glass, right? You know these ladies. Well, these ladies love comedy. Well, one of them had seen us. We were doing a show at the Zone, and then me and Trundy and Jordan and a bunch of other of us were there, and this girl wanted Jordan. And I'm like, just take her out back and fuck her. And he's like, I'm not going to lose my virginity like that. And Trundy's like, nah, kid, don't do it. Don't do it. You'll regret it.
The angel of the devil.
Don't do it. And so the more Trundy was like, don't do it, I was like, fucking do it. Just do it. Fuck it. Why not? And it was so much fun. That was one of the more fun nights I ever had at a Greensboro show. Was just us just. Because Natalie, she was so aggressively trying to fuck him too. And we all knew he'd never got laid at that point, so it was great.
That was funny, man. But we can end on this, but what's the reason you started doing stand? You told me a story about going to see Eddie Murphy, but like, why did you start doing it? Like, what was your goal?
I mean, what was my goal, or why did I start?
Well, I mean, like, why'd you get into it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got into it because it felt like the best way I could get up in front of a group of people and express my thoughts and ideas and feed them with enough to get them to sit there and listen.
but that was, and that was about money. Wasn't about going. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I just feel like you're successful, in my opinion. You did what you wanted to do. You're still doing it. You can do it at a high level. That's success.
Why'd you get in?
My roommate. He wanted to try to stand up. And he was like, just come with me and laugh at my stuff just in case, so somebody laughing.
Right.
But then when we got there, it wasn't a lot of people, so they were like, well, everybody say something. And I said a couple things, people chuckled. I was like, oh, that feels pretty good.
Dude, you're like the dude that like just tried heroin because his friends were doing it.
I always loved stand-up. I would like watch, like I would, this is gonna sound crazy, but it's the truth. I would like put Louis C.K. on Netflix to like, at the end of my night to like watch it as I go to sleep. I'm like, bro, I just like if I wasn't doing homework or gaming, I was watching stand-up. Like that's just what I loved. And I never knew how these dudes did it. Like my mom said, well, I imagine they're actors, and then they say, I want to do stand-up, and then they give them a stand-up slot. And I was like, okay. So that's why I did a lot of theater stuff growing up. I was like, okay, if I want to do stand-up, I got to be an actor.
That's great that both of you thought that. Like you thought of stand-up as a career choice, and you're like, what do I got to do that?
Yeah.
And then you figured out like, oh, I should probably learn to act. I should probably.
But then when I wasn't good at acting, I was like, well, I guess I can't do stand-up because I can't. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was the way to do it. I didn't know you could just show up to an open mic. And once I talked to Jordan outside the Comedy Zone, I was like, so you think you can do this for a living? He was like, hell yeah. And I was like, yo, all right. I thought he was going to be like, nah, this some bullshit I'm doing in college. I'm about to be a sports nutritionist or whatever. Like,
right.
Nah, he was like, nah, I can definitely do this. And I was like, wow.
That
was a turning point for me.
Because he was working weekly with comics that were doing it and making money, and he was watching them, and he was being like, huh.
And he was getting up.
I
like,
can
a
do
lot
this.
back then.
You came in at the tail end of locals really evolving into becoming working comics without social media followings and without being like, because Ben Jones and I were probably the last two out of the scene to do the old, Booker's, Comedy Zone, Funny Business route to get started working on the road that way. And a handful of others, like I think Brent Blakeney sort of kind of slid in towards the last, but even then, by the time I started, there were, from what I'd heard, there were 65, 70 Comedy Zone rooms, and then it dropped down to by the time I got on the road, it was 35, and now I think they're down to 12. Same things with Funny Business on the Midwest. They used to have probably 80 rooms. You worked all of them, right? I mean,
I don't know if it was 80, but there was a lot.
But I mean, now again they're down.
So it went from 60 to about 12 now.
I mean, something like that. A new one will pop up, and then but it won't stay open. They'll have it open for 3 months, and then it'll be gone.
That scares me, man.
But I mean, that's the thing. There were so many comedy spots that just places that did comedy nights. Even when, as I was first starting, and that was less than apparently what it had been. Yeah. When you were out, I mean, you guys, little towns were all over. Were having comedy nights. Where it's
I stayed. I mean, that's why I had a motorhome. I mean, I stayed, but I mostly got pretty quickly. I got to where I was working the week long Funny Bones and improv. I was working those as an MC and a middle, and now none of those clubs use MCs and middles. They use
they just book
local comics, or the guys bring in comic. So there's that. From the ground up, sort of infrastructure isn't the same as it was. Now it's more like scenes, and you sort of I'll go to Charlotte. They got nights every night. You find the 3 rooms there that you like doing or whatever, and then I guess I'm not doing it that way anymore.
But it's the don't tells. I think those are changing the game too, because it's like a comedy.
I just did a don't tell, and it might be one of the most fun sets I've had in 3 years. It was so fun.
I was nervous. I got one coming up this Friday, and I was like, I don't know how it's going to go. But I was like, everybody says it's a lot of fun, so I'm trying to get too nervous.
Just a little one. It's like a little one-nighter in a cool spot, and it's like,
where are you doing it at?
Raleigh. I got one this Friday in Raleigh. Then I got the next week. I got 2 in Winston. So I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm a little interested in when they play out the sort of that thing is the thing that sells the tickets, calling it a don't tell show. The brand is what sells the thing, right? So it's a little, and they were. It was cool. I don't
think that's the big thing of it. It's it's a secret show that nobody knows where it's going to be until this day.
I did part open mic. I saw Mello was there. Mello was on the show too. It was there was a couple comics from Atlanta. And then I, of course, at the end of it, stuck my foot in it with the other comics somehow. Because they all left.
Yeah.
They did their sets and left. And then I don't know, something about that bugged me a little bit. Like you didn't even really talk to everybody. You did one of them knocked over the light on her way out. So when Mello's on stage, it's like, so you don't have to stick around, I guess, totally. But at least, I don't know. It just
don't
felt
make a
weird
ruckus when you leave.
Whatever. And so I was like I was kind of annoyed, and I put in the messenger on the group message on Instagram. Like, I thought it was cool. Everybody was funny. I thought it was cool how everybody left immediately and didn't stick around to support the other comics. And then
You wrote that?
yes. And then I thought about it for a second, and then I took it down, but everybody had seen it. So really,
Man, Jesus Christ, that's worse. Just gotta stand on it at that point, Tom.
I know.
God,
it's
man.
actually, well, I think it's their fault for reading it so
Just give
fast.
me your phone.
Yeah.
Just give me your phone. There should be an age limit on phones, bro. It's gotta be like 50 something. 51, 52. It's like, bro, you don't need it no more. Hey, or at least give it to somebody and like tell them what you want to say. I could have said that way better. I would have acted like I was typing and be like, I sent it and never sent it at all.
I do that some now too, but I don't know. Something was a little, I felt a little irritated.
Whenever you want to do that again, text me. Just, you know who does that? Gooseby. Gooseby just texts me like it's his diary. Just all his frustrations and his thoughts.
Yeah, okay.
I don't got to respond. He just got to get it out. Just text me. Don't put that in the earth, man. Like, don't put that in the world. Just text me, please. I tell my dad that. Just text me, please. Come on.
Okay, all right. I'll
Don't
do that.
yell at random Mexicans on the subway. Just text me. My dad's just cussing people out for no reason in D.C. Just text me, please.
Hey, JD, there's a bunch of Asians out in front of my house.
That's
What
hilarious.
should I do? Should I go
Call
out there?
police.
Should I go out there and kick?
I'm
some
gonna tell
ass?
you call police most of the time.
Okay. All right, I gotta go.
Call
I gotta go watch my son play baseball.
All right, let's
Excellent.
go.
I really, man, you
Good
guys are
times.
fun. I appreciate
was
you coming
fun.
in. You guys are fun times.